That's what you call standing on business right there. Oh, makes contact, devastating shot. This dude is about to leave his feet. He is stunned. He is petrified. Ragdolled him. Flapjack, pancake, it's a wrap. This dude wears a neck roll, guys. So this guy is about business on the field. When was the last time you seen a guy wear a neck roll? Midwest corn-fed type of offensive lineman that just is about his business. Oh my gosh. This dude, he look like he got hit by a train. Getting crushed by a building is exactly what we're talking about right here. That is a pancake action, the best I've seen so far out of all these prospects. This guy is a ragdoller, a manhandler, a bully. More manhandling, more flapjack action, more short stacking. Let's check those. Boom. That man has left his feet. I don't know if you can see it because he's in white and they're in the snow. Dude's feet is in the air. He looks like, Uncle Phil throwing Jazzy Jeff out of the building right now. Yo, it's your boy, Big Mike Raider, and we're here for day 24 of the 30 days, 30 prospects, where today we're talking about Jamaree Caldwell from the University of Oregon. Hey, we're talking about some country thickness here, 6'2", 330 pounds, nose tackle, D tackle. He plays the zero technique. He can even play at the 5, plays mostly in the A gap. He can play a little bit of 3 technique in that B gap. He gets the job done. I like this prospect because he started from the JUCO route and then made his way to being an NFL prospect. We're going to talk about the pros and cons, the strengths and weaknesses, all that good stuff, draft placement, and then my favorite part of the show, the film breakdown. You guys already know what it is. But before we get into anything else, I need for you guys to do a few things. Like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. You guys already know the deal. Big Mike Raider. You guys already know the deal, man. I'm excited for this one. Let's talk about Jamaree Caldwell from the University of Oregon. Shout out to NFLDraftBuzz.com. We're going to talk about some of his strengths. But before we do that, let's get into some of the stats from Jamaree Caldwell. Let's check it out, man. Shout out to NFLDraftBuzz.com. Like I said, here we go. So in 2024, he had 29 total tackles, 1 forced fumble. The dude was a run-stopping machine, right? If we look at PFF, let's jump to PFF. Shout out to PFF.com. 80.3 overall PFF grade. A pass rush grade of 71.5. Not too bad for a guy at 330 pounds. Run defense grade, 81.6. Excellent, right? Excellent. And then pass rush win rate at 9.3%, not too bad, and then a run stop rate of 7.5. Pretty good. And his best game was against Michigan State with an 84 PFF grade, Washington 79.5, and Ohio State 76.2, Purdue 79.4. So this guy in big games in the Big Ten, he brought it when it counted, right? So those are some of the stats. Those are some of the PFF grades. If we look by snaps by alignment, he played the A gap 167 snaps in 2024. The B gap 334 snaps. So he can play the 3 technique. He can play that 2-eye. He can go into the 1. He can be head on to the center at a 0 technique over the tackle. Surprise, he can play the 5, guys. He can be on the 4. He can be in the 5. He was at the tackle, over the tackle, 26 snaps outside of the tackle in a 5 technique one time, but he did it. He can do it. He's pretty versatile and pretty quick when it comes to being that size. He's really quick. 6'1", 330 pounds, like I said. PFF has him at 6'1", 340 pounds. But NFL Draft Buzz has him at 6'2", 332. So, and like I said, man, this guy started from the JUCO route. He was a 0-star recruit, went to the JUCO route and made his way up, right? We talked about this from time to time and time again. A guy who can scratch and claw and earn it and get to a point to where he is now, that's highly commendable. He went to the JUCO route, Hutchinson Community College, and then went over to Independence Community College, one of the two top JUCOs in this country right now, those two that we just mentioned, earned his keep, and then went over to the University of Houston, did some things over there. And let's look at some of the stats over at University of Houston, right? In 2023, he had 27 tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 7 sacks. So this guy can get after it. His numbers dropped a little bit. He had a different role with the University of Oregon, but when he was with Houston, he had 7 sacks. So he can get after the quarterback. And then in 2022, with Houston, he had 2 sacks. So this is a guy who can really get after the quarterback, can stop the run, especially stop the run. This guy is a dog when it comes to playing in a phone booth, right? You don't want to get into a wrestling match with him in close distance. He's going to win most likely. And we're going to talk about some of the strengths. But those are some of the stats. Hey, might as well jump into some of the strengths and weaknesses right here, right? So shout out to NFLDraftBuzz.com. You guys already know what it is. So prototypical nose tackle build with exceptional density and natural leverage that allows him to play with consistent pad level advantage against taller interior linemen. So lowest man wins, right? That's the name of the game. He always is the lowest man when it comes to stopping the run. He's always there, right? He sheds double teams very well. You'll see it on the film breakdown. Surprising first step quickness for his size, explodes out of his stance and can penetrate gaps before blockers can reset, creating immediate backfield disruption. Yeah, that first step is no joke. Where he's always at the he's always the first to engage, and he's always attacking that gap and doing his job. He's not trying to do too much. He's fighting off double teams a lot of the times, and he does a very good job doing it, right? Plays with outstanding upper body power and heavy hands that shock blockers on contact. When he lands his punch, centers struggle mightily to recover and re-anchor, and you'll see that in the film breakdown. This guy has a mighty punch. Demonstrates advanced stack and shed technique against one-on-one blocks using powerful forklift moves to displace linemen and locate ball carriers. So he's getting there right in your face, right in your chest, kind of, using his leverage to kind of lift you up a little bit, and then he's shedding you off. And it throws a lot of linemen because they don't have the lower pad level. It throws them off balance. Sometimes he's throwing them down to the ground, and he uses his vision and his instincts to find that ball carrier a lot of the times when he's doing that. So he does a great job with that. You'll see. Exhibits remarkable lateral agility and short area quickness to allow him to shoot down the line and make plays outside his gap when freed up. Yep, he does that. Check off the box. Shows good play recognition and processing speed, rarely fooled by misdirection, and quickly identifies run versus pass to adjust his approach accordingly. Yeah, does very good. He's one of the best at stopping the run in this class, right? Versatility to align anywhere from the 0 tech to the 5 tech based on situation, was surprisingly effective playing outside at Houston despite massive frames. So, Houston, he had a different role. He played a little bit of the 3, played a little bit of the 5. He had 7 sacks, 9 sacks in 2 seasons. For somebody at 330 pounds, that's pretty impressive. Then he went to Oregon, and then he did his job. He played his role. He was more of a 1 technique nose tackle. He played a little bit of the 3, but his bread was buttered. And when it came to stopping the run and being that gap filler, taking on double teams and things like that. And he made the rest of his line and linebackers look really good because of that. And it's not necessarily about the stats when it comes to those gap filling nose tackles, right? It's about, the other guys getting the play and you setting the tone, taking on double teams and letting that linebacker come in and make the tackle sometimes. Sometimes it has to be that way, right? There's nothing wrong with that. When you do your job, people who are keen, have a keen eye to film, they see it and they see, okay, this is a special type of prospect, and he's exactly that, right? Determined motor and effort level, consistently fights through entire play when initially stalled, create late pressure and second effort tackles. So, hey, that fits in perfectly with the rest of this defense. You got Max Crosby, who's leading the way with the high motor ability, the guy who's that trendsetter, that tone setter, right? Right next to him, Christian Wilkins, who's kind of following suit, that 1A, 1B with Max Crosby as far as setting the tone on that defense. Adam Butler, you guys already know what he does at the one technique. He plays great ball, not necessarily a stat filler, but there's things that he does, the small things that set up everybody else to make them look good. And Jamaree Caldwell is the same way. He does the same type of things, right? So those are the strengths, and then we'll get into some of the weaknesses, and then we'll get into draft placement right after that. So below average arm length, 32 inches, limits his separation ability and necessitates winning early reps before blockers can latch onto his frame. Yeah, 32-inch arms, a little short. He uses his strength, though, to kind of recover from that. So as long as he keeps his technique right, as long as he has that quick first step like we've been talking about, he's going to win a lot more times than not. Let's move on, right? Pass rush repertoire remains limited, relies heavily on bull rush, and lacks consistent counter moves when initial charge stalls out in passing situations. I do not care at the nose tackle if that's all you do is bull rush. If you're a gap filler and you're excellent at the bull rush, keep doing it. Keep doing it, because at 332 pounds, a lot of guys can't handle that, especially at 6'2", when you're most likely the lowest man. So do what works, do what got you here. You know, maybe you can get a secondary move. That's cool. You know, maybe that club and rip. You know, club and rip would be nice. Get after pass rushers. But we saw at the University of Houston that he can absolutely get after the ball when it comes to getting after the quarterback. He can do that too. So not too concerned with that, right? Tends to attack double teams rather than absorbing them, occasionally getting washed out when he should anchor and occupy multiple blockers. And that's simply about just doing your job, right? Absorb those double teams, fill a gap, and in some cases, you're not going to be able to make the play. Got to have that mentality sometimes that it's not always about you to make the play, and that's fine, right? But if you can get there, go ahead and get there. And I think it's a lot of confidence when it comes to him playing the game at the nose tackle position. I think he believes he can get there, and he's shown it, right? We already talked about it. He's over, you know, when he was with Houston, he had 9 sacks, right? So maybe he does believe, hey, I can get there. You know, I've shown that I can get there. So playing with a little confidence, I can see that, but you got to play within the scheme in a lot of cases, especially in the NFL. You just got to do your job, right? Finishing ability as a tackler needs refinement, lunges too often and doesn't consistently wrap up, leading to missed opportunities in the backfield. And you'll see on the film, he missed a tackle for a loss. Could have been a loss, ended up stopping him at the line of scrimmage. It was actually Ashton Genty. But, you know, that's one of those generational running backs that everybody's been talking about. He's going to break some tackles from here and there. But, you know, there's some plays where he could have had a tackle for loss and he missed the tackle. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Pad level rises noticeably when fatigued later in games, negating his natural leverage advantage and making him easier to move off his spot. So those are the weaknesses. And, you know, to that last point, right? And also to kind of throw in how he would fit with the Raiders. I'm not looking at him to be a starter in this situation. He's a 4th round projected guy. You're looking at the 4th and maybe 5th round, depending on, you know, what expert you're listening to in this situation, but is more likely going to be in the 4th round. Pick 108 is where I'm looking at, where Raiders can pick him up. We don't necessarily need him to be a starter, right? We got Adam Butler holding it down at the 1 technique, and we got Christian Wilkins at the 3. What we need here at this point is some depth. And at some point, you could throw in Caldwell, and he could be like a situational tackle with the 1 technique, you know, and obvious rundowns if he's really that good at stopping the run. You can have him in there first, second down, and then now you put in a NASCAR package in obvious 3rd down situations, you know, 3rd and short, those kind of things, scenario type of deals. I'm not looking for him to play 80 snaps in the game. 25 to 30 snaps and playing it very well is important to me right now. And I think that if we pick him up, that'll be a plug and play, and it'll add some great depth to this Raiders defense. But you guys let me know what you think about it. Those are some of the pros, the cons, some draft placement, and how he would fit with the Raiders. You guys know his story. From JUCO to NFL prospect, I'm always a fan of that. And I think he has a work ethic to improve on those weaknesses that we did talk about. But you guys let me know. Let's get into where people think he's going to get drafted, right? Shout out to NFLDraftBuzz.com with the chart, the famous chart we've been talking about the whole series, right? Countdown has him at number 72. So they're looking at him at being, that early, mid, third round guy, right? It's justifiable. The way he plays and is that run stopper, right? 33rd team has him at 73. Sports Talk has him at 87. So you're looking at right after we pick in that third round, right? So that's that's what you're kind of looking at right there, right? And PFN has him at 91. NFL.com has him at 107, just before the 108th pick right there. So PFF has him at 121. So you're looking at the mid fourth round. Draft Buzz at 129. MDDB also has him at 129, and then ESPN has him at 136. I think that he would be an excellent choice in the fourth round at pick 108 for us. If he's there, go ahead and pick him up. I think it's an A+ move. It brings us some depth to this defense at the one technique. You got Adam Butler there already holding it down. The front line is pretty much solidified, but if you add some guy that can kind of come in rotation and situational awareness, situation type of plays like short, first down, second down, obvious run downs, things like that, I think that he will be a good fit. But you guys let me know what you think, man. But with saying that, man, you guys already know what time it is. It is the film breakdown. Let's jump into this thing. Let me see. Here we go. Yeah. All right. Get right here. Let's make that screen a little bit bigger. You don't want to see my face. This shit don't matter. All right. So now we see right there, you got the circle on the big guy, the country thickness right here. Jamaree Caldwell right here. It looks like he's in a one technique. Head up on that center. Let's see what he does right here. Let's let this thing ride, and I'll stop him when I need to. Right there. And then, there you go. You see him kind of, he's taking on the double team. He's staying down the line. He's also looking in the backfield, looking at that running back, reading his keys, right? He's following where the blockers are want him to go. He's staying within the play. And the running back has to make a decision, right? And in this case, it's not necessarily him making the play. It's the linebackers who is going to shoot that gap and make those plays. That's what you want from a D tackle, a nose plug and D tackle, taking on those double team type of deals. And in some cases you might win, but in most cases you might not get there, but it leaves open gaps for those linebackers to shoot and make plays and make them look good. And that's part of being a great nose tackle and doing your job. Let's see how it ends up. He ends up shedding them, right? So it was a combo block. The other the guard went up to the second level. He ends up shedding that tackle and makes a play right there. It was a tackle for loss right here. Basically a tackle for loss right there. So taking on the double team, shedding the guy. As soon as he sees one guy kind of release, throws the guy off him. That's good timing. That's good wherewithal, knowing IQ that you want to see in a nose tackle. Let's ride it out. Let's see the next play right here. So here we go. So it looks like he's head up on the guard right here. It looks like in a two technique right here. Let's see what he does right here. Let's check it out. And you see right here, he's already won, right? You got the guard already kind of leaning forward in a very bad position. You can't recover from that. And that's attributed to using that heavy hand, that club initially, and making that guard, lose his balance, basically losing the balance, losing the hand fight right off the jump. And it's hard to recover when you lose a hand fight. And we'll see what he does right here. Loses the hand fight, gets by. Number 78's a turnstile, and then not quite getting there, but he disrupts the play, taps the ball, and you're living to see the next play right here. So we got right here, looks like he's head up on that guard again, and you're going to see that he reads the key right here. You see the ball's already been snapped, but he sees, this is how I see it, right? I used to play D tackle, and what they teach you is you got to read your keys, right? I see right there that the tight end is already motioning over in a counter situation. So it looks like he's already anticipating that they're going to run it to the right, which is absolutely true. He shoots that A gap right here, and he's the first man there. He stays low. He uses almost like a rip to get there, and he uses his leverage to win this battle right here. And let's see what he does right here. There you go. So low man wins, like I said, and I was right. The tight end, more of like an H-back, is the lead blocker in this situation. The guard loses right off the jump. You want him to kind of wash him down in this situation, or at least like down block him or seal block him, depending on the scheme. He doesn't do that. He gets by him, uses his lower leverage to get past the guard, and is in the backfield to make the tackle right there. Oh, nope, not quite. And this is Ashton Jeanty, right? This is what we're talking about. I was talking about this play where you want him to finish it. Everything looks great right here, right? He gets past the guard. He reads his keys properly, but he doesn't make the tackle on Ashton Jeanty, and this could have been a tackle for a loss. This would have been a brilliant play for number 90, our guy, but he doesn't make it. But the rest of the guys make it in a minimal gain right here. So no harm, no foul, but you want him to wrap up in those type of situations. So here we go. We got him head up on the center right here. Man versus man, beast versus beast, zero technique. It doesn't get any more primal than this. Let's check it out, man. Let's check it out. Head up. He already has the lower pad level, as you can see. He got his hands out right there, and he's going to do a great job at shedding the center right here. Little swim move. There's the secondary move that they said that he didn't have. He has a swim move, right? He did a nice swim move, shed the center, and the center's like turning around and like, oh man, I screwed up, right? That's kind of what it is right there. And right there, and makes the play. Excellent rep right there. And that's why I say he's excellent at stopping the run. He's head up on the center. He's in a one technique, and he does a great job with getting after it, right? So let's check out the next one. This time he's in a one technique. We're going to see him fight it out, duke it out in a 2-on-1 situation. Let's check it out right here. So there you go. Got us a combo block. He's trying to fight that double team, and you even got the tight end in a lead block, similar to what we saw against Boise State a couple of plays ago, right? You got that counter lead block by the tight end, and he's reading his keys right there. So what he wants to do is cause a cluster F. What F stands for, you guys already know, a cluster F. He wants to cause that. He wants to cause mayhem. He wants to cause disorder, and that's what he does right here. While simultaneously taking on the double team block. Let's see right here. And there you go. Lowest man wins. He's got the one of the blockers kind of in an off position right here. He's gonna shed right here, and he's gonna let his boys make the play right here. Let's ride this one out. Gets his hands around him, and then the rest of the guys come in and rally around him. So there you go. Good run stopper. Excellent run stopper. So now you got him in the head up on the guard again. Let's see what he does right here. Right here, causing some disorder, causing some mayhem. Doesn't necessarily make the play, but now that running back has to make a decision based on what he did, kind of stopping his momentum in the backfield. Now you got 1, 2, 3 defenders against 2 blockers ready to make that play right there. And that's exactly what you want from your nose tackle, 44 with the tackle. It's not always about making the play. It's about setting your guys up in some cases, and he did a great job with that. Let's check out the next one. So you got him in a 3 technique, and let's check this one out. Matter of fact, let's rewind it just a little bit. This is what will get me excited about drafting you right here. The effort, the motor, the give a F attitude to go down the line when, hey, you seemingly might not be able to make the play. And, when people see this, it pops out on film when you're 330 pounds and you're running across that field like your head's on fire. Let's check this one out. Let's check it out, y'all. Let's check it out. So here you go. He reads the play, sees the screen, and he's going down the line. And there you go. He doesn't make the play, but if his buddy doesn't make the tackle, he's absolutely making the tackle. And dude's getting crushed by a building because there'd be no way he sees that coming. So that is the effort you're getting from, Jamaree Caldwell right there. Let's check out the next play. This time he's in one technique right here. Let's see. He's kind of leaning back, reading now what the quarterback's going to do. He does a great job with reading and just the IQ. I don't know if this was intentional for him or he was like, hey, I'm just not gonna rush, but his instincts are impeccable in this situation. He's sitting back and reading the quarterback's eyes and sees that he's trying to go down the middle and just tips the ball. Not always about getting after the quarterback if you have the IQ to tip the ball and know where the quarterback wants to go. That's IQ right there. So now we got him in a one technique right here versus Wisconsin. Let's check it out, see what he does. So he's got 57. 57 looks like he's winning this one, but not so fast right here. You're going to see the cutback from the running back, and Caldwell does a great job with shedding this blocker and being Johnny on the spot. Let's check it out. There you go. Johnny on the spot. Looks like he was losing the hand fight, losing the battle up front, and he sheds number 57 and makes a play. That's excellent run stopping right there. And just recovering and overcoming adversity in that situation. So let's check out the next one. Head up on number 57 this time. Let's see what he does here. Looks like a stunt, and that's just excellent reading, what's going to happen. He's reading, the keys from what the blockers are telling you, and he's there once again to stop the run. So if you guys haven't got it by now, this dude is an excellent run stopper. This guy would be a good situational guy on obvious first and second down situations when teams want to run the ball, third and short, those kind of deals. He would be a great plug and play. Let's check out the next one. There you go. Taking on the double team this time. And you see that motion again. It looks like we're going to get another counter. The tight end is pulling over to the right. And let's see what he does right here. Just takes on the double team and sheds the double team this time with ease. That is impressive. Let's check it out. He's right in the middle, like I said, number 57 and 68. It looks like he has him locked up, but he uses his strong arms and his two clubs that he calls arms and just kind of beasts out and just get out of my way. Opens a door with two hands like a true beast. Let's see what he does right here. Look at that. Look at that. He just like separated two linemen with his hands. I mean, come on, man. What are we talking about? He's holding down the line. He's almost a two-gap filler in this situation. It is impressive. It's impressive to see what he does right there. So that's one of my favorite reps and makes the play on top of that. That is excellent effort. Excellent effort. So one technique. Let's see right here what he does. All right. And 64 just couldn't stand a chance right here in this situation, guys. I'm getting a little long-winded. This is because I just love the trenches, man. Let's see. You see, 64, the offensive lineman is definitely the higher man, and the higher man never wins in this situation. He's in a bad position. 75 is out of position to make a legitimate block. And then 64, you see him right there, just no balance. And Caldwell's right there to stop the run once again. You guys see what I'm talking about right here, man. All right, so head up. And we're about to see a big boy on skates. Number 75, the center. We got a head. He's in that head up on the center in the zero technique, and we're about to see 75 on skates. Let's check this out, and we'll let it ride out. There you go. 75 on skates, roll bouncing, take him out on a Saturday night. Man, you never want to see your center getting put on skates like that. But that is Caldwell in a nutshell, man. What do you guys think, man? I think he will be an excellent addition to this Raiders offense. The Raiders defense. He can stop the run. He will be a good asset, in situational type of plays where, it's like I said, first and 10, second and maybe they want to run the ball. Obvious third and short situations where he can be that run plugger, that gap filler, and really stop the run. And at least initially, until he gets acclimated and then maybe takes over that starting spot in maybe 1 or 2 years. But you guys let me know what you think about Caldwell, man. I love this prospect, but you guys let me know. But that is day 24 of the 30 days, 30 prospects. We got a little long-winded in here. I went over 30 minutes, but it's all right, man. You guys know how I do it, but we're about to get out of here. And before we do, though, make sure you like the thumb, hit the sub, share with your folks. That's what you call standing on business right there. Oh, makes contact. Devastating shot. This dude is about to leave his feet. He is stunned. He is petrified. He's ragdolled him. Flapjack, pancake, it's a wrap. This dude wears a neck roll, guys. So this guy is about business on the field. When was the last time you seen a guy wear a neck roll? Midwest corn-fed type of offensive lineman that just is about his business. Oh my gosh. This dude, he look like he got hit by a train. Getting crushed by a building is exactly what we're talking about right here. That is a pancake action, the best I've seen so far out of all these prospects. This guy is a ragdoller, a manhandler, a bully. More manhandling, more flapjack action, more short stacking. Let's check those. Boom. That man has left his feet. I don't know if you can see it because he's in white and they're in the snow. Dude's feet is in the air. He looks like, Uncle Phil throwing Jazzy Jeff out of the building right now.
Speaking Sumerian, the oldest language in human history. I can't